All right, hey everyone, Umbra here, and Global has had their big second anniversary update with a plenitude of banners, a mass amount of content, a huge update, and one of the things that everyone is going to be paying attention to, besides double vision cards and of course blowing all of your lapis load all over the screen. Alright, sorry for the imagery, but in all seriousness, we're here to talk today about runes and how to rune farm and how to rune farm efficiently, and some pitfalls to make that we're going to talk about near the end of the video. So first off, runes. How do you make them? How do you use them? What are they used for? They're not used for regular equipment, they are only used for trust masteries. And any trust mastery that you have possession now or in the future, you can upgrade with runes. So let's take, for example, this one. This one's a brand new one for me. I've just gotten it. What do we need to do first? Well, first of all, you need to unlock them, and unlocking them requires books. And not just for one, but for all of them. Every single slot, if you want to unlock, you are going to need books. So book farming is still going to be ever important into the future. But that's not all. The second thing that you are going to do is you are going to upgrade these slots. As soon as they come out, they can basically upgrade or equip anything to a yellow rarity. They cannot actually go any further until you upgrade the equipable spot. So basically you can have basic one up to a SSR or MR tier, which is the yellow one, but you can't equip the UR ones until you upgrade. So what you need to do, you need to click this button and you choose whatever source you want. If you want to use, for instance, the green ones, which are pretty useless, this is about 1,000 of them. May sound like a lot, but trust me, you're gonna get a whole bunch of them. So yeah, that's really all straightforward, and yes, the crafting part is a little bit tedious, so we're not going to get into that quite yet. So let's go, next important thing. Where do you go to farm these little buggers? Well, you actually go into your event, into the daily portion, and here is where you are going to see it. And every day of the week has one that gets essentially a double bonus. You'll notice that there are 6. So for JP, currently it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I do believe. One of these at a time will have double up on it. So always, basically, there's a rotating double one. They're not really that difficult. They can be a little slow to farm, some of them, but not too bad. On Monday in JP, all of them have double bonuses. So Monday basically allows us to choose whichever one we need and just get it. So what are you getting out of these farms? Well, you're only getting the green ones, the blue ones, and the purple ones. And we'll talk about why you even would want to farm these, because it doesn't seem very good if you're trying to get URs. And let's just give a heads up right away. Greens are useless, blues aren't good enough, purples are passable at times, yellows are decent, but pinks are, or reds, if you prefer that way of seeing the color, I guess. Well, they look pink to me. Pinks are the best. That's the one that you want to build, and you want to build a lot of them. But the thing is that it's very costly, both in terms of time, stamina, and effort level. So whenever there's a event going on, event shops will always have these kind of tickets, and as well lower tier tickets too. The way the tickets work is they let you select effectively. Let's just here real quick and over here and scroll all the way down. Where the heck all of mine are, somewhere in here. Here we go. So these ones essentially allow you to choose 5, and you need 20 to make one specific rune. So if you're trying to build an entire TMR with only pink ones, then you need 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 of these in their specific letters. Now you can exchange via the exchange shop for instance, the first one to an F or a W or a 2, whichever one you want to change it to. Problem is, and I do not recommend doing that because you will be losing half of your value, and these things are tricky. So these tickets are one of the big sources where you can actually get a whole bunch of these from. It is a little bit slow. Tickets do come from various places, potentially from shops or real lapis purchases. I don't recommend that. That's whale territory, and if you're in that kind of territory, probably a different video you need. But that is not the only place. The second place that you can get your pink or yellows from is from this shop, and you need this specific currency. So how do you get this specific currency? First of all, if you take a look here, each of these is about 100 a piece. So if you remember, if we need 120, we need about 12,000 of these before we can make one TMR. So keep that in mind as we go forward. So where do you get this from? Quite simply from events, from time-limited stuff. If we take a look even right here, this is the Rune weapon farm, as well as the Eliza weapon farm. Every single one of these from now on will have a checklist, basically, each and every element, and by clearing them with only one specific element, you will get some achievement points. I think you have to do it like a couple of times. It starts getting more and more as you go on. And that basically allows you to, just check the box list. So whatever elements you do have, you should always potentially be trying, unless the element is super disadvantageous. Basically, you only need one clear with it, and that's it. That's all you need to do. But the currency required is a fair bit. And yeah, so that's basically everything to do with where you farm it. Let's get into really quickly making one. So you go into this screen. This separate screen will probably not be as updated as the JP side. JP, I think, has a few quality of life improvements that Global does not quite yet, like being able to craft multiple in a single go. And yeah, I think even right now, I just don't have access to any pinks. So let's shift all the way back up to the top and see what we got here. So let's say we want to craft one. Well, we have the necessary resources. We hit the button, and boom, there it is. A specific type of one that you were looking for. You choose whether the left side is more defensive and HP and building sides, where the right side is more offensive style runes. So left side runes and right side runes are capable of different things, and you want to think about essentially what you're going to be building for what character and what not. Now, you will roll a random couple of things. First of all, stats, but those can be re-rolled with gold without having to re-roll rune. What isn't capable of re-rolling without re-rolling the rune is this, the sub ability on the rune. Let's say we didn't like this one. It's not very good. It's not what we're looking for the character we're building. Well, you're going to have to essentially break it back down and try again. This is a new feature on the JP side, a quality of life feature that essentially allows you to re-roll from the same screen. Global, as far as I know, probably doesn't have this, so look forward to it in the future. So let's say we get something we like, great, we can go attach it to the weapon we want for the character we want. Alright, I think I've covered basically everything to do with where, how, and what to do for farming all of this. So let's get into the last part of this video, tips and tricks, because let me tell you, the first and most important thing to say about tips and tricks is don't rush this down. This is a whale-orientated system. It requires a ton of stamina, gold, time, and effort. And honestly, JP players have already gotten screwed on this because of 6-star weapons. Lots of people have been re-rolling many times, and your re-rolls per day are actually capped to a certain amount in total. So if you re-roll a bunch of purples, you'll have no re-rolls for pinks. It's just shared. Anyway, getting back to it, JP players spend a lot of time basically rolling runes to give damage cap ups, and now we have 6-star weapons, and a lot of 6-star weapons just have damage cap ups already that are about the same as a really good TMR rune. Honestly, it can be a resource thing, so don't think about building these for a big general idea or for some very short-term project. Build TMR runes that are just generally good, that you could throw on any tank or any healer or any damage dealer, and you wouldn't lose anything from it. That's one of my biggest recommendations. Second, purples. Purples are definitely not valueless. As a matter of fact, I would put them as the second most valuable, right next to pinks, because every month you are capable of exchanging a certain amount of a certain amount of purple ones for pink. So let's just go in here, for example. Let's say I want to craft a whole bunch of pinks. Well, I can craft 50 every month. That's pretty good. It does require you to farm a lot of purples, and that's where you're going to be doing that daily farm. Greens and blues, so you can potentially upgrade a whole bunch of other stuff, and purples for making pinks. Do not do yellows. You can, but it should probably be a supplementary thing. You should be focusing on getting pink tickets first and purple runes, because you're just going to need a ton of stuff from those rune farms anyway, including adamantite. And last thing, I guess there was one more piece of advice I wanted to give about this general thing to do with it, is that you shouldn't necessarily worry too much. You shouldn't automatically unlock all of your TMRs. Pick key TMRs that you think are really important to build the best TMRs, and those are probably going to be the correct ones. But this is going to be a division of power going forward between lower tier players and higher tier players, because they just have more stamina to farm. They just have more dedication to it. So don't stress too much about it. I on the JP side have built only a couple of TMRs that have been really, really successful. One for Astoria, one for Violet, and those boosted those characters' performances a really high amount. But it was a lot of work, it burned me out a little bit, and I've been taking even a couple of months off from the grind for this, because there's other grinds to do, and it's not worth stressing too much out. So keep that in mind for your mental health going forward. There's also a few other things to do with, once you get one of these, you're essentially going to want to upgrade it, and you can see the costs start skyrocketing here. You can re-roll in this screen. Here you can fuse in to upgrade the ability on it. So like here, if we did this, as you can see, we're upgrading the level of the sub ability, and there's just a fair amount. So it's, take it slow, but this is the most important information to do with runes. So I hope this has been very helpful. I hope you enjoy it, and share it with other people so that they can understand not only how to do it, but the pitfalls that are associated. Because as a JP player who's been dealing this for about 3 months-ish now, there's some pitfalls, that's for sure. Thanks for watching. See you next time.